Okay, so we have the brand new banner predictions going for the new banners in 2.4, which are going to be for Raiden, Shogun, and Kokomi. We're going to predict the weapon banners as well as the character banners for the 4 stars, and we're not going to use any leaks to them because there are no leaks currently. So of course, that's what we're doing. And if you're wondering why I didn't make one last time for the Yay Miko banner, the reason I didn't is because it speaks to integrity that I didn't, because I knew what the banner was already, so predicting it would be literally leaking. So I wanted to keep my integrity and then not just give you a leak video. Jump into it. So we do a lot of banner predictions on the channel, and you guys have actually put in a lot of comments recently. One of the bigger comments that I've seen for you guys want to see more comments centric on a full prediction rather than predicting about talking about a lot of characters. So this time around, what we'll do based on what you've said and what you guys have talked about is I will predict the character banner specifically, and then we'll talk about the characters it's not going to be, and we'll hopefully get it right. Okay, so first on the list, Raiden, Shogun, and Kokomi are going to be coming out again this time around. Last time they came, it was a Sara, Zhangling, and Sucrose banner, as well as a Rosaria, Beidou, and Xingqiu banner. So between these two banners, we just saw Beidou and Xingqiu, so these two characters are completely out of what it could be. So I do not think either of these characters are going to be coming because we just saw them on the Zhongli and Ganyu reruns. Next up, Rosaria as a character is a potential character, but we did see her on the Albedo banner. And the reason I don't think it's going to be Rosaria is because I think that will actually come very soon on a different banner that would make way more sense for her to be like Senshoujan, perhaps on a Toma banner, or not Toma, on a Ayato banner, because on an Ayato banner, maybe there would be some kind of free synergy that MiHoYo is going to try to push. For the Raiden banner, we actually have not seen Sara actually since her original release. So it's a near given that Sara will be a character. Oh, shoot. Will be a character on this banner. And because that's the case, Sara is going to take out one of the 3 slots. Now, the other thing is that Sucrose has not been on a banner in quite some time, and Sucrose is actually quite good with both Raiden, Shogun, and Kokomi. I keep muting alerts and it keeps not muting the alerts. What happens there? And because Sucrose is quite a good character with both of these characters, and we actually have not seen an Animo character since the Hu Tao banner, my prediction is that the second slot is going to be for Sucrose. So for the Raiden, Shogun, and Kokomi banner, those are the 2 slots that I am predicting initially. Now the last slot is actually a really tricky one, and I have to go back in time and actually talk about a couple other characters in sequence. First off is Sayu. Sayu we actually have not seen since the Hu Tao banner, but I guess since we're getting most likely Sucrose on this next banner, I would have to say that Sayu is a character that's not going to show up. Now, if Sucrose does not show up on the banner and Sayu does in her place, that would be fine, and I would definitely say that, okay, that's something I should have predicted in general, because it's an Inazuma-based character, and this is Inazuma reruns. So that's the only situation I would say that it would happen in, but I'm not going to go for that in general. Next up is Goru, who actually has a lot of ties to Sara as far as like the amount of, parts that they had in Inazuma. Plus, she has a very big tie, of course, to Kokomi, being the general for Kokomi's army. So I would say that Goru is a possible character, but I'm going to say that since I haven't really seen any information on Goru in 2.5, and there's nothing thematic about Goru in this current patch. So as far as a character goes, I think I'm going to say that Goru's not going to be on the banner just because he doesn't really seem thematic to the current patch, even though he has in previous patches been really heavily related to Kokomi. Up, we have Zhangling, who was originally on the Raiden Shogun banner, and that could be a complete refresh of the original Raiden Shogun banner. Now, the reason this could happen and that Zhangling could pop up here is Zhangling's last banner was on the Ito banner, which is long enough for that to not happen on, so that could be a thing, and she could be on this banner if they want to keep banner sales really high on this particular one. They want to keep, hey, I want to get Zhangling in, so there's a lot of people that want the characters, so they want to get people excited as possible for this, maybe, but I'm going to say no on Zhangling. I do think it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. The other option is Bennett, and Bennett was on a banner most recently on Albedo and Eula. I'm going to say no on this one as well, because I think that Bennett will happen in about 2 patches, not 2 patches, in 2 banners or so. And the reason I think it'll kind of land on that time is because of the current reruns that are happening with potentially Kazuha in the future. And I think Bennett on a Kazuha banner would really sell him, especially since Kazuha and Bennett together were on the previous run for Kazuha and Bennett. So I think that would be a banner that they're going to kind of go for as a Kazuha and Bennett and Rosaria banner in the future. And I think that might happen in 2.6 because I think Kazuha is due for a rerun. He might get one next patch. The last character that I want to talk about before we get into the character I think it is going to be is going to be Jin Yang. and Jin Yang actually has not seen a rerun since the Yonya banner, she would probably be the most likely option for the second pick that I actually have as a character. It's an unfortunate character, but as we're talking about likelihood for pyro characters and what's going to be coming up, if there is a pyro character in the banner, it's probably Jin Yang based on the timing sequences and where it is. Now, there hasn't really been any reason to have Jin Yang in the storyline, but just as a character in a banner, they just want to, as a throw-in, seems possible. But the character that I actually think it is, the thing it's going to be for this slot, is going to be Razor. And the reason I think it's Razor is we have had one banner before that had 2 Geo characters on it. It was the Shenhe and Zhao banner. And that happened right after an Ito banner where there was a 1 gap in between. After that, we got Ye Miko and then a 2-character banner here. So I think it'll be Razor because Fischl and Razor have had the same duration skip between banners. Right now, Fischl is on the most recent banner, but then Razor would probably be the next logical choice to happen right after that. And Fischl has not seen a banner in the longest amount of any other character. Now, Razor was actually on that same time window, so I think it'll be Razor. So it'll be Sara, Razor, as well as Sucrose on this next banner as far as my prediction goes. So it could be right, could be wrong, but that's my overall prediction on this banner for the character banner. And as far as the weapon banner, this next weapon banner looks like a really interesting one. Now, the weapon, I think, of course, in the first 5-star slot is going to be the weapon signature weapon for Raiden Shogun. Of course, the second one is going to be for the signature one for Kokomi. So we're going to get probably the donut as well as the Gulfing Lightning. Now, if, for example, they don't want to do that, because we did have a where's the donut? Where is it? The donut was on the Jade Cutter banner back in September. And that was on, I think, Kokomi's original release, right? Yeah, so that was the only time they had the donut, right? And then did the donut come back again or no? Donut hasn't come back again. So it's probably the donut. All right, and then as far as bows go, it's gonna be the Moyun's Moon as well as the Akumaru. And the reason that's gonna be the case, in my opinion, is as far as weapons go, it just makes sense because right now we have the Waybreaker's Fin and they're part of the same set. So I'm assuming they don't just want to keep that in the same patch. So my assumption is they're going to go with the Akumaru as well as the Moyun's Moon. So if you're missing those weapons, it's most likely going to be those 2. And for other 4-star weapons, my assumption for the Codex, since we have not seen it in quite some time, we actually have not seen these Sacrificial Fragments actually since August. My assumption is it's going to be the Sacrificial Fragments. It's going to be paired along with Sucrose. Then for the bow, the spear, most likely going to be Favonius Lance. There are not a lot of weapons that are available on weapon banners lately for what you could get because there's only 4 spears in the game. 2 of them are non-weapon banner spears, which are Favonius Lance and Dragon's Bane, and the other 2 that we have are Lithic Spear and Waybreaker Fin. Both of these spears are centric on the signature weapon banner. So I think it'll be Favonius this time around. And finally, for the last weapon, which will be the Lion's Roar, I believe, for the overall weapons. Oh, sorry. I think this is a typo. I think they just forgot to edit this. This is actually the Sacrificial Fragments, I think, on the Red Horde banner. Either way, it's been quite some time since we've seen it. I think this is a typo. I think you're right. So, but either way, I think it's going to be Sac Fragments because like we had Favonius and Widzit. It just makes sense in line sequence. The other thing, the reason I wanted to stress is a lot of people want to know like what is going to be coming out for future characters. Next shop is going to be both Ningguang and Xingqiu. This overall shop, we'll talk about a little bit more when it gets closer, but Razor is the next following shop. And the reason this is important is when there's another character coming in the shop that lines up, there's actually a lot of banners that line up with the following shop or a shop right around the character. So I would assume that if this is going to be the case for the same thing for Razor, just for the timing of him coming back. Dude, this cat. You're hearing it now, right? The meow, 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 meow. You're hearing it now, right? Imagine that, but like 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Imagine 6 o'clock in the morning. You're trying to like sleep, and all you hear is meow, 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 meow. You're trying to sleep like first thing in the morning. Imagine, dude. That's the feeling you get. It's so frustrating. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. We're gonna basically have nothing else to look forward to until the next banner. So that's basically what we think is gonna happen. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Who you guys think is gonna be the banner? Have a great day, guys.